don't panic. We're looking at different things for young people that are important issues, and we're using media, we're using the internet to get this message across. And the media, most social media, can be very useful, can be very good. But we can have quite a few problems with social media as well, can't we, Tina?
We can indeed.
You've had a lot of experience of dealing with this.
I've dealt with a lot of young people who have had dealings with social media.
Yeah.
I think we have our Snapchat, our Instagram, our Facebook and our Twitter and all those other social media aspects that can be brilliant in passing news on and seeing what people are doing. But also there are dangers. I think one of the things that I would look to is to make sure that our settings are private. We need to look after ourselves.
Right, I don't use them, so you'll have to explain to me what
well,
does that mean?
sometimes you can set up an account where anyone can see what you do.
Right. And you put on what you're doing.
And you put on what you're doing.
Right, okay.
What you've had for your breakfast, what you've had for your tea, whatever.
Right.
What we need to make sure is that just our friends and just our family can see that, so it's not open up to everybody to see. That was the first thing that I would say when I was conscious that I was setting up my Facebook account and the Twitter account.
Why do you think somebody might just let anybody see? I mean, I wouldn't really want everybody knowing what I'm doing. Why do you think they're going to do that?
They tell us all the time that there are people browsing, strolling through the internet to get to people.
Right.
And you hear the horror stories about grooming and such things like that they've been found on the internet. So that would be one thing. And if you don't know that your settings aren't private enough, then ask someone who does know.
So that's a very important thing, to make sure that you have settings so that you can't just have a bad person who's looking on the internet to hurt people gaining access to your information, because we don't want that to happen to anybody.
Indeed. And I think sometimes, as I said, social media is great, but sometimes it takes away from the art of conversation. I mean, here we are having a chat, friend to friend.
We are.
We are. So, I could say something to you, you could say something to me, I could get a bit annoyed and say a flippant remark. But then it's gone, it's moved on. The danger is, with social media, is actually to type that out and say something.
Right, so somebody has an argument with a friend, and before they know it, they've put things about them.
Exactly. So
in the heat of the moment, and then they can't get it back, can they?
Yeah, and then everybody else can be commenting on it, and it causes bad feeling, and it could be, something over, are we going for a drink tonight, or whatever.
So maybe a useful thing there is really think before you put something on, especially if you're cross or you're angry about something. Really don't just put it all onto the internet, because other people, like Tina's saying, could be other friends, will pick it up and it can make it worse, can't it?
You've said the word think, and if we look at the word think and each of those letters, is what we're saying truthful? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? If it's all of those things, let's put it on.
So let's just remind, those are really good. So the first, is it truthful? I mean, that's very true, and you need to remember this, that a lot of people will not tell the truth when they're using the internet. And other people believe that and think that they have to say more as a result, don't they? It gets a silly game of, well, if they say they've done that, I'll say I've done this, and then and truth then gets lost in that. So it's very important that we tell the truth. We don't exaggerate either, or tell lies. So the truthful. And then what was it?
Is it helpful?
Is it helpful? Yeah. What are we doing? Is it helping other people? Is it helping us? If it's not kind, it's not helpful, it's not helping other people, then, well, why are we doing it? Because we wouldn't like people doing that to us, would we?
Exactly.
And then...
Is it inspiring?
Inspiring. That's a big word. What do I mean by that?
Well, I think... Is it positive?
Yeah, if I'm inspired by something, it makes me want to do something. It makes me feel good about something.
Yeah, so you feel good, everybody feels good.
So if we're putting something on the internet that's not making people feel good, that's not what we're called to do, is it?
And is it necessary? So if we're thinking, well, I really don't like that person, so I'm going to say this about them. Is it necessary?
Yeah. Is it necessary?
Yeah. Is it kind?
Is it kind? We can, if we're kind to people, It can make a big difference for people. You know, we didn't have to worry about these things when we were growing up, did we? We didn't have anything like this. If we had an argument with a friend, if we fell out with someone, see, one of the problems as well, of course, Tina, as far as I understand, is if you've got somebody as a friend and then they fall out, and sometimes they might still have your link, or you keep that link, or you join into a circle, and that means other people are in. And I know we're going to be talking more about bullying and different things that can go on, but all this goes on a lot, doesn't it, on the internet?
Does. And you know, when we were growing up, as you said, if we fell out with a friend, we fell out, we went home, you know, we told our parents and our carers, and we went to bed, and we got up the next morning, and we went to school or wherever, and yeah, we probably made up or we didn't make up. Whereas if we fall out now, that's continuing on our phone or whatever device we're using through the night.
Yeah.
You know?
And the internet's real.
It's real.
It's real. When you say something on the internet, it's real. Some people seem to think they say something on the internet, oh, but I only said it on the internet, I didn't say it to them. Well, it's just as hurtful and it's just as damaging, as a lot of you will know. So I think we really need to be very kind.
We do.
I think if we're being kind, that's very important. And that's what God calls us to do. Jesus always called us to be the best and to be kind with other people. I think his example shows us very clearly. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth and the life. So he showed us the way to live at the service of others, and he showed us to be truthful in what we do. So be very careful when you're using the internet, and don't use it as a way of getting at somebody, as a way of making yourself vulnerable. Use it as a way of communicating good things, and then it can be something that's positive. And in all of that, we pray that God will be with us and guide us in the decisions that we make. Lord, be with us on our journey. Amen.